Hey Ari, it sure is. Beautiful evening out there, isn't it? Brian Boone, Emily, hope you guys are doing well. What's everybody feeling after this holiday weekend? I saw some reports that people were treating it just like any other holiday weekend, so there's a whole plethora of things going on out there right now. Yeah, Ari, I think I was looking at it earlier today. I think today, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the numbers man, but I think we're on day number 70 of practices. So I can imagine that the body would be feeling it a little bit. And maybe that theory where I was talking about, remember when I was like, okay, so you take a class and then your body has 12 hours to recover and you can hydrate and you can, nurture yourself with good food and whatnot. But as things start to get going, or as we're doing more, obviously your body's got to use its energy on those things as well. So there's always this crazy blend that we forget about, to take some pause and reflect on what we're doing and where we've been in the last 12 to 24 hours and check in. So detox is a nice place to do that. Day 70, 126 classes in a row. That's amazing. Emily, you're sunburned. Well, that's good that you had that weather out in Chicago for that to happen, but probably not I know that feeling. So I want to say that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe China was on a strict lockdown. I had a friend, student friend, who was, their daughter lives in Wuhan, and she had been there because her daughter just had a baby prior to the knowing of the pandemic, and she was able to make it back to America before everything got locked down. But I understand that was a very strict, like you couldn't even leave your house at all. Like it was in your home, and I think it was 76 days strict lockdown. And not walks around the neighborhood. It's pretty intense. This whole thing is pretty intense. Debo, good evening. Brian Boone just flexing, just putting it up there. It's a strong flex. And good thing we won't be doing that in detox, especially after this morning's practice. I mean, I guess it would be kind of trippy if we took a little turn down memory lane and went back and took the first class we did in quarantine, since they're all out there, and then just notice, because this has been a continuation all the way through. You guys are getting sequence from day one blending all the way through day 70. Whenever you picked it up, there's people posting on day 40, day 50, day 58, and so many people hitting quite a consistent streak with their practice, which is cool. And your body is supposed to break down during this process. We don't want to debilitate ourselves, but man, you're opening your body in so many ways. You're going to feel it. And so proper rest and recovery, do some ice on the muscles, do a heating pat if you feel inflamed in certain places. An Epsom salt bath is really good for inflammation. And Christine, hope you're doing well. Neck and back super tight. Good to know. We can address those things. Andre, Sasha, hope you guys are doing well. As you all know, we have two options. Real quick before we start, and anybody that's on the live chat, is there anybody that has been doing no music during the detox? And just going straight up with the instruction and the space? Go ahead and raise your hand on the live chat if you're doing no music during the detox practices. Emily, no music. Awesome. I love no music. I love no music practicing, but I also love, teaching with music and introducing it as a layer. But it's got to be a layer, energetically adding some value or opportunity, not just background music. But personally, it's really nice to practice without music. But it's fun. Ira, no music, cool. Very cool. And if you haven't tried it without music, I guess there's an opportunity on day 70 to do a class without music and see what that feels like. It's one class, and the beauty is that we're going to keep, a live stream class going every day for forever, for the foreseeable future, as long as we're here. So plenty of opportunities to practice in different ways. If you're following along, hey cousin. Not doing music tonight, Christine, cool. Brian Boone, straight up. No music in detox or in flow. That's cool. So you just get to listen to me huffing and puffing when I can't breathe anymore in flow. I'm like dying doing the class with you guys, but in a great way. The energy is just, I never felt anything like it. Oh, nice. Cool, Emily. All right, you guys. I'm going to start the playlist here on earbuds if anybody is following along. If you want to start yours on Spotify, you're welcome to do that. And Ari, all music all the time. Love it. Okay, first track is called Calling. Debo, I see you on there, buddy. Regina. Go ahead and get your volume set. If you have the luxury of keeping your setup kind of where it is, that's nice. Oh, nice, Andre. Started with no music and then started music. It's fun. It's a cool conversation and a cool way to kind of tap in, tap out, play with it. All right, let's start in a prone position tonight. So prone just means lying down onto your belly. Straight out behind you. We'll start with our right cheek on the mat. And to relax the shoulders, we'll let the arms come down by our sides. And so it's the back of your hands on the mat, palms facing up. And then go ahead and just let everything fall down into the ground. On the side of your head, your cheek. If you are feeling the practice in your low back lately, this should bring some attention to that part of your body. And so you can always adjust your knees a little wider if you need to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. And Christine, you might even feel this in your neck and your shoulders already. If you need to put something underneath your cheek, a little blanket or pillow, you can do that. And prone is a nice position because it's like the same connection as when you're getting a hug. And I know many people in the world haven't had a hug in a very long time. And so let this be a universal hug for everybody, all of you that don't even know each other, all of us that haven't met yet. Let's just hug it out and feel the connection in your chest and relax. And continue to allow your hips, any tightness in your low back, and to release as your thighs and your legs get heavier. And all we got to do is just slowly turn to the other cheek. And let your left ear, side of your face, rest onto the mat, please. And slowly bring your chin back onto the mat. And we're going to set up for a little psoas release. And so with your arms by your sides, make a fist with your hands. And then rock a little bit to the left and place your right fist underneath. So if you feel for the frontal hip bone, and then take your knuckles just inside the frontal hip bone. And then take it, lean to the right and slide your left fist into the inside of your left hip bone. And then just let yourself come back to center. The arms are going to be bent a little bit. And then we can just go ahead and turn back onto your right cheek. And let your belly soften. And you might even feel a little heartbeat. Your psoas muscles in your knuckles. You can start to observe that. You know, when people say meditate on that, it just means observe. Rest in the observation. Soften the focus, our mindfulness meditation. Watch the air come into the body and the air go out. In this case, feel the heartbeat. And your hips into your hands, and your knuckles, and your fists. And keep the hips heavy. Just turn onto the other cheek, please. And relax your bum if you notice that you're gripping and holding on still to your bum. Let it soften. And without gripping the hips, slowly bring your chin back to the mat. And then you can release one hand and the other. And slide your hands underneath your shoulders. And you should feel that in your low back. And start to make your way up to all fours. And then we're going to go knees together, child's pose, so your inner thighs touch. And so your belly has something to rest on. And curving and flexing and rounding through your spine. Bring your forehead down. And then let's slide the arms back by your shins, please. And the shoulders drop if you need to reset and find the right spot on your forehead. And maybe it's just above your forehead because your chin's in a little closer. And soften your belly, let your shoulders release here. It's a great practice if you're ever feeling lonely. Because we find our greatest gifts and truths and wisdom and teachers from within. And so when loneliness spikes, it becomes your teacher. When you find yourself on your mat in your practice, it can be very exceptional and beautiful. It's a pretty deep fold. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Keep your head heavy so it's the last thing to rise. Close your eyes and begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. Keep the eyes closed. Feel the stack of your spine. And hands on your thighs. Notice if you see any colors in light with your eyes closed here. And you're welcome to blink your eyes a couple times, take a couple snapshots. And let's release the back of the legs. Bring your hands forward and hips over your knees in a tabletop. You can open up your mouth, stick out your tongue, take a sigh, lion's breath here. And gentle rock of the hips side to side. And then go ahead and bring your right foot in between your hands. You can pad up with your stack underneath your left knee if it's still quite sensitive. That'll break down over time. But you're welcome to pad the knee and by rolling your mat over or using your stack. And then we want the right knee coming into the front of the right side of your chest and the front of your shoulder. So the right arm is loose. We're not holding the mat with the hand. Let the right arm be loose. Find a place where you can just start to rest the chest into your right knee. And your left arm can be a little bit more of a pillar and to support you. And then let your head fall in between your left arm and your right knee. Isn't this practice in the yoga life, finding the space between any 2 points? Could be 2 points of your body, could be 2 points in your life. Could be two points that are two people, and finding the space between 2 points and becoming more aware and more awake. And notice the parts of yourself tonight, if you have been practicing quite a bit, the parts that have loosened up but they're still holding on. You've frayed a little bit of the edge, but there's still so much more of whatever that may be. And that could fray further, that can eventually drop off, and so that you feel the deeper release. But that practice is to acknowledge that it's there first. No need to push it away or pull it in closer. Just acknowledge that it's there. And observe a breath as you observe whatever it may be. And then we continue on. And if your mind tends to get hung up in the worries and the doubts and the fears, no stress. We're only going to be here for about 10 more minutes. No stress.
kidding. One more minute on this side. And remember the achiness is normal. As you're feeling in your body coming back and from this shape, and go inch by inch, start to move your hips back. And feel the weight come out of your chest and your shoulder. And we're going to walk the hips all the way back onto your left heel so that your right leg can straighten out. Use your arms to support you as you balance. If you need anything underneath your bum on the right side, you can place it. And close your eyes and realize the sensations in your right foot. Underneath the ball of your foot and your toes if you move them around a little bit. And then all we got to do is just lean off onto your right hip to get the left leg to come out in front of us. Both of your legs straight. Bring the soles of your feet to meet. Let your knees fall apart wide. You slide your hands, crawl your hands forward. And your right leg and your hip may feel a little different than your left. That's okay. And set your palms softly into the mat. And this is for the space across your upper back. Pulls your shoulder blades wide. And the weight of your head is a key. Let it be heavy. Still here. And if you started to fade, and go back in to observe your Breath in the air coming into your body, going out. We'll watch about 10 more breaths here. It can feel so good to come out of a forward fold with your eyes closed, so you are welcome. And to keep your eyes closed, use your hands and begin to roll yourself up. Just enough, and turn your knees up and scoot your bum forward. And let's catch the rebound on our back, lying down flat, please. Let your right toes turn out. Rest your hands on your belly. You might feel some joy in the release of the rebound. Just go with it. Observe a breath, bend your legs, feet flat. And take your arms out like a T. And if you can be hip width or wider. And let both of your knees fall down to the right. And keep your shoulders and your head nice and heavy. If you drifted, bring it back. And if you fell asleep, just be gentle with yourself. Start to roll your knees back to center. And let your legs continue to be heavy with your feet flat. And then trace the sensation or the space, whatever you're feeling more of in your chest. It could be a vibration, a pulse. And let's roll on to your left side. And use your right hand, come all the way around onto all fours. And we've turned ourselves 180 degrees on the mat. So you're now facing the back of your mat. And here I'll encourage you, since we turned 180 degrees, you may celebrate in your past because your past has brought you to this moment. Step your left foot forward. Your moment is embedded with the positive perspective as we engage this practice in the mindfulness meditation, the yoga life, philosophy. If you need to pad your right knee, go ahead and do that. And then your left arm is loose and bearing no weight. Your right hand can support you. And then let your head fall in between your left knee and your right arm. And it's only a phase, everybody. If you have a debate with your past, if you're not happy about something in your past, it's only a phase. And it doesn't have to be that way forever. Tonight could be a night where your positive perspective kicks in, and there's a moment of realization or clarity or union, yoga. And I offer you the opportunity to see your stillness as a selfless act. That which could be intense for one may be relatively easy for somebody else. So we can't really invest all that much in what we're feeling. It is unique to each individual, but we could propose and that the practice of stillness is a selfless act, merging us in the direction of loving kindness and awareness for ourselves and for our fellow beings. Something interesting about everybody practicing at home is that, in a room, your stillness can actually be tagged with a bit of competition. So I wonder if anybody is finding themselves in a state of competition, not necessarily related to staying in the pose because we can't see you. And so what you're showing yourself is a richer insight into your character, which is pretty awesome. And of course, if competition is sitting there in regards to the number of classes you've done or how many you've done in a row, you don't have to stop practicing. Keep going, just take a look at it. Let's go about one more minute on this side. And what if you're here right now just happy? I'm happy. And sure, there can be a lot going on in your body, a lot in your mind, but you can just be happy. Take it slow, little ache, little burn. And start to bring your hips back. Whew. And use your hands to walk your hips all the way back. And sit onto your right heel. And your arms support you as your left leg goes straight. Bring your head above your heart. All right, let's just lean off and to the left and bring your right leg out in front of you. If you know what direction your head is pointing in right now, okay, mine is facing north. Feel the release in your left leg, soften your arms in any shape that feels good. And look at all this. If you close your eyes and visualize the front of your body from shoulder to shoulder, see if it feels wider. And then what is the actual distance if you were to pull out a measuring tape? See if it feels wider than that actual distance. Like your shoulders have drawn out with with an extra 6 feet of space in between. Let's go ahead and bend the legs so your feet are flat. And feet hip width are a little bit wider. And let's let the knees fall down towards the left. Arms out into a T. Put a little space in between your lips. Let your tongue release. Neither pushing or pointing into any part of your mouth, but just a soft tongue falling into the back of your throat. And you might be getting all sorts of waves, feelings from your feet, through your knees and your legs and your thighs and your hips and your belly and your chest. You've probably become a little bit more sensitive, more aware of your body. And with kindness and with peace, especially through the challenging moments, that's only going to continue and to expand. And start to move your hips back to squares. You roll your knees up. And we're going to catch our butterfly pose this time on our backs. So when your knees are square, bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall apart. And you're welcome to keep your arms where they are. You can adjust your shoulders and your hips and possibly even take your hands and let them rest on your inner thighs. Close the eyes. Selflessness is stillness. Think about it. Patience. Many times to be patient, we must be more still. We must pause. We must not grab over that person's shoulder in the grocery store I've heard this multiple times now, you guys. Guilty pleasure in quarantine. Doritos. maybe starting to explore in the idea and the prospect that whether it's the pandemic or the course of your life or any part of your life, that it's not about reaching the finish line, because there is no finish line. Why even trick ourselves into thinking that there's a finish line? Start to embrace the evolution, the change, the transformation, the endless, the adventures and rhythms that we get to tap into with our flows. And sometimes we're uplifted, sometimes we're downshifting, but either way, we're getting deeper and deeper in touch with a further place in our core connected to our mind. All that to say, so your mind can be here. It doesn't have to always click on rewind and play that tape over and over and over again. And slowly start to bring your knees back up towards each other. And once your feet go flat, and you can let your legs slide out long, and catch the release and the rebound here on your back, and see how this feels tonight. And let's explore this breath as you lie here still and heavy. And we're going to take an inhale, and then the exhale, we're going to buzz like a bee. And we'll do 5 rounds. Breathe in through your nose. And exhale, buzz like a bee. Bzz. And breathe in. Two more. Be still and feel this. Maybe, just maybe, you've never done that before. So you've done something new tonight. Keep your eyes closed. Bend your legs, reach your left arm up, and roll onto your left side, please. Pause there in the fetal position. And keep the belly relaxed. And this will be pretty cool. When you're ready, keep your eyes heavy, if not closed, and then come up seated, cross-legged or on your shins, so that you're facing east. And so for now, all of us scattered across the globe, across the world, we're all facing east. And we're all pointing in the same direction. Our differences are not important. Our love is important. And as you face east, turn your palms to face up. And let the back of your wrist or the back of your hands settle on your inner knees or thighs. May you rest in the breath. Close your eyes with your head above your heart. As we face east, now I'm going to rest the back of my right hand into one of your palms. And then you do the same with your right hand into somebody else's palm. You're probably going to feel a different sensation in your right hand. And keep going, and then eventually it's going to wrap its way all the way back around. And somebody's right palm is going to rest into my left palm. Setting still for our meditation tonight. If you need anything to ground you besides the practice thus far, observe the air as it comes into your body and out. And I'll call you back in a few minutes.
take your right hand and bring it across your chest and place it on your heart. Take your left hand, place it on the back of your right hand, and let your chin bow in towards your chest. Take a moment to receive. You can feel it, a lot of warmth right now, physical heat. And bring your palms together in front of your heart center. And look where we've arrived. In all of these practices, and through each class, and day by day, breath by breath, and look where we've arrived tonight. Bring your thumbs up to your forehead. And the acknowledgement into all of you, all of us, all the beautiful humans on the entire planet, all beings. May all beings accept and receive peace. Drawn back to you, thumbs to your heart center. And bow your chin, take a moment and to acknowledge, to seal, to send your practice wherever you may like to tonight. And you are welcome to lie back down in Shavasana from your seated meditation. Take your time, no rush. And look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning for our flow practice. Good night, everyone. Namaste.